Okay guys, I just got done filming a breastfeeding, I can't remember what it was called, Breastfeeding 101, Everything You Need to Know, part 2, so go watch that. I didn't know there was going to be a part 2, but there is, and you guys need to see it. But I'm going to do a little video right now, because I've just decided that you guys need to know everything that there is to know about me and my pregnancies and stuff like that. So I wanted to do a like, I don't know what I'm going to title the video, but it's going to be basically, we're going to be talking about C-sections and everything about a C-section that you need to know. Like, if you are about to have a C-section and you are terrified, don't be, because it ain't as bad as what you think it is. I promise, it is not that bad. I thought going into a C-section was going to be the worst, scariest thing ever. And like, walking into the operating room is scary, but it is not as bad as what everybody makes it out to be. So let's just start from the beginning. I was 37 weeks, 36 weeks, maybe 35 weeks. I'm not sure exactly my weekage, but but they told me at my 3D ultrasound Xavier's weight, and Xavier was expected to be 9.5 to 10 pounds. So I am a very small girl. Like, I'm very frail and just skinny all the way around. I've always been that way. And I was like, dang, that's a big baby. And which it was my first baby, so I didn't have anything to do really. I was just sitting around twiddling my thumbs waiting for this baby to come out. So I was sitting eating whatever I wanted all the time, doing whatever I wanted, not really exercising every day, not really exercising much at all. Like, I would just walk around, and that would really be it, is just walking. I wouldn't really lift weights. I didn't do yoga. I didn't do nothing really with my first pregnancy. I was lazy, but I had they was expecting your Xavier to be almost 10 pounds. And they were like, look, your hips aren't wide enough, we don't think, for you to deliver this baby. So we can go ahead and we can try to do a natural, vaginal, whatever you want to call it, birth, or we can go ahead and just schedule a C-section and do it a C-section, because we are worried that while you are pushing, the baby is going to be so big that his shoulders could get stuck in, like, where your hips and stuff could be, like your birth canal or whatever. So if I don't, you know what I mean, like the head could come out and then the shoulders could get hung, and it could cause, an emergency C-section. It could cause the baby to have to be like sucked out, or use like prongs, I guess, I don't know what they call it. It's like almost like a pair of tongs, but like jumbo size, they put on the baby's head and like pull the baby out. Or it could like hurt the baby's shoulders or anything like that. And I didn't want to risk that. I didn't want to risk an emergency C-section. That was my biggest fear, because they said, like my doctor said, that in an emergency C-section, they are not worried about you. They are, but they're not worried about you like they're worried about the baby. They're worried about getting the baby out. So if something happens and the baby gets stuck and they can't get the baby out, and they're rushing me to do the C-section, then they're not going to care about my comfort. They're not going to care about anything like that. They're just going to be worried about getting the baby out and getting me stable. And I didn't want to have that fear. I didn't want them to just be like poking and stabbing me and doing all this stuff and it being rushed, because it is an operation. So if they mess something up, that's like my organs and stuff. I didn't want that. So I went ahead and I scheduled the C-section. I was heartbroken because I was scared, and I did not want to do a C-section. I wanted to do a natural birth, but I was just scared. I didn't want anything to go wrong. I didn't want nothing to happen to me. I didn't want nothing to happen to the baby. So I just went ahead and did what my doctor advised, and we scheduled the C-section. And then that morning I get up there, and whenever you first get there for a C-section, they make you have 3 bags of fluid. 3 humongous bags of fluid. So you first get there, you sign in, you do all that, or you check in, whatever it's called, where they do all the paperwork. They give you a little bracelet. They take you up to your room. You pee in a cup. They check your vitals, your pulse. They check your blood pressure. They change you. They make you take everything off, and then you are only wearing a pair of socks and which the socks that you are allowed to wear are the ones with the like little grips on the bottom, so that way if you fall, you probably won't fall if you're wearing those socks, because the floors there are concrete. And they also, I think that's it. I think they just check your vitals, they start your IV, get you a room, everything like that. And then whenever it's time for the C-section, they come and get you. And sometimes they will wheel you out in a bed. Sometimes they'll let you walk to the OR. Like, it doesn't, so everything is different. Like, every office is different, or not really office, but every hospital is different. Every doctor does stuff differently. So you may walk into the OR, you may not. With Xavier, I did not walk into the OR. They wheeled my whole bed into the like hallway, and then I walked from the hallway into the little operating room. But with Uriah, they didn't do that. I walked all the way from my room past labor and delivery into like the recovery, and then past that into the operating room. So everybody's situation could be different. And whenever you get in the room, it's gonna be like, the lady looked at me and was like, don't touch anything that's blue or green. And I was like, okay, so don't touch anything. Basically, that's what Michael told him, because everything is sanitized, everything's been cleaned, so they don't want you to touch it because you can contaminate it, because you know they're about to cut you open and use all this stuff on your inside, so you want it to be pretty clean. And you walk in the room, and usually there's a nurse there with you, like helping you walk in there so you don't fall or whatever. And then there's like a little bed, and it's like not like a normal hospital bed. It's a very small bed. Like, it's very thin. Like, I felt like it was like this big, even though it wasn't. It's like as wide as your, I don't know, it's like, it's wide enough to keep you on it, but you can't roll. Like, if you was to go to roll, you would fall on the floor. And it has like a place for your arms to be like this, and then sometimes they'll strap you down, and sometimes they won't. With Xavier, they did strap my arms down because I was like shaking so bad from the spinal, which I didn't get the epidural, I got the spinal. And the difference in the epidural and the spinal is like, the spinal is more intense, so like whenever they do it, you're immediately numb, and then you will get like this chronically itchy feeling after it's like starting to wear off. So like after the C-section's over with, you will feel itchy, like your skin is crawling, is how I felt. And like, I was just digging all over me, like everything itched everywhere. Like, my back was itchy, my legs was itchy, my arms was itchy, my belly was itchy, everything was itchy. And it was just from the medicine. And the epidural, sometimes it will like take a little bit longer. Like, it could take like 5-10 minutes before it starts working. But the spinal, you will feel numb as soon as they pull that needle out your back. Like, you feel numb as soon as it's done. And then they lay you back, and if you don't want a curtain up, then you don't have to have one. But I did not want to see like them cut me. I did not want to see them do that, because I was like terrified. Like, I didn't want to see it because I was scared I was going to pass out, and I wanted to be awake the whole time. I didn't want to pass out. I didn't want them to have to put me to sleep. I didn't want to do none of that. So I had the curtain up, and they put the curtain up like as soon as they lay you down. That's the first thing they do. They put the curtain up. They literally start cutting you. Like, well, they put the curtain up, and then they put your catheter in. And after they put in your catheter, which you don't feel them putting in your catheter, like you do, but you don't. So like, you can still feel pulling and tugging. You can still feel like pressure. Like, if somebody's like laying on top of you, then you'll still feel it. Whenever they push on your top of your belly right here, whenever they're going to get the baby out, you'll feel that. The nurse looked at me and was like, they're about to set an elephant on your chest. And I was like, what? And then like, as soon as I said what, it was like, because they literally push the air out of you. Because, I mean, I don't really know why. I guess it's just where they're trying to get the baby out. So they like push at the top of your stomach to keep the baby from like moving up whenever they reach in for it. But they lay you back, they put in your catheter, they put up the little sheet or whatever, the little curtain, and then they start the C-section. And my C-sections all were different. Like with Xavier, my C-section with him was 8 minutes. I went in the OR at 3 o'clock, and at 3:08 he was born. So the C-section wasn't done at 3:08, but he was already out and they were stitching me back up. And then with Sis, and he ended up not being almost 10 pounds. He ended up being 8'9", which he was still a big baby, but he wasn't 10 pounds big. So I was thankful because I brought newborn clothes to the hospital thinking that he would be too big or too little for 0 to 3 months, and his weight was like perfect for newborn, so it fit him perfect. It wasn't like too big on him. And then with Sis, with her C-section, so C-section number 2, they took me in at 3 o'clock in the afternoon too, and I was done with the C-section by 4. She was out by 3:06, so it only took 6 minutes to get her out, and then it took 8 minutes to get Bub out. And then with Uriah, he was born at, I can't remember what time he was born at, to be honest, but I know that the whole C-section process was an hour, because whenever I got back to the room, Michael was like, "Where have you been? I've been worried about you," because it was just him and the baby, and they were just like, "Where were you at?" Because with the second, like with my first and second one, I was in and out, like, I swear it was so much quicker than with my last C-section, with my third, with Uriah's. And with each C-section, I feel like with my first C-section, I didn't want to try to get up out of the bed, I didn't want to move, I didn't want to try to do anything like that. So it was like, I just wanted to lay in the bed and take care of my baby. But with Sis, I was like, I want out of this hospital. I want to go home. I don't want to stay up here. I don't need y'all's help. I can do this. I'm good. I know what I'm doing. I've already had a baby. I'm good. That was my mindset. I was like, I don't need to be here. I already know what I need to do. Just let me do it. And with Uriah, I felt the same way. I was like, this is not new to me. This is all old news. I am ready to go home. Like, I did not want to be in the hospital, especially with this COVID stuff, because you had to wear a mask all the time. Whenever you was in the room, you was allowed to take your mask off, but like, still, if you went outside that room, you had to wear a mask, and it was just annoying wearing the masks. Like, during my C-section, they wanted me to wear it, and I was just like, I cannot breathe. But with, you know, it's just the COVID stuff that's going on right now. And with, I lost my train of thought. But with Xavier's C-section, I didn't want to, I just wanted the nurses to baby me. And then with my second C-section, I felt brand new after. And then with Uriah, I felt brand new after. I was like, the next morning I got up and took a shower and was ready to go home. Like, I was like, I don't want to be here no more. I was like, I'm done. And the doctors are pretty lenient with that. Like, if you request to go home early and there's like no reason for you to be there still, they'll try to let you go home when you want to go home. Like, if you're wanting to leave early, they'll try to let you leave early. But if you are wanting to stay, then they'll let you stay too. Because, I mean, some people that have C-sections and they have multiple kids, they may not want to stay, like, they may want to stay in the hospital just to get that time, you know what I mean? Like, those 2-3 days to rest and just have time with their baby. I, on the other hand, did not. I wanted to come home and see my big babies, my toddlers. I wanted to just sleep in my own bed and wear regular clothes. I didn't want to stay up there in the hospital and eat their nasty food, which it wasn't like disgusting. I had chicken the whole time. I just ate fried chicken. Well, grilled chicken, not fried. But I ate that because that's like the least nastiest thing, I guess, at a hospital. But I'm rambling. Let's veer back to C-section talk. The healing process, it is what is the worst. The actual C-section part is a cakewalk. You go in, they do your spinal, they lay you down, they put the curtain up, they put in your catheter, they cut the baby out, they cut you, or they sew you back up, and then you go to recovery and you're done. And most C-sections last, like, from beginning to end, they're about an hour. Sometimes they're not that long, but sometimes they are about an hour long. So with Uriah, I was gone. I was in surgery for an hour and didn't get back to my room for an hour. But with my other two, it was a little bit quicker, and I didn't have to wait. Because, I mean, you're just laying there, like, you feel like you're just waiting. Because, I mean, you basically are just waiting for them to get done. But you don't, I didn't rush them because I'm like, I mean, I wanted to see my baby and hold my baby, because in a C-section, you don't get to hold the baby until after you're out of surgery. So, like, all these nurses get to hold your baby, and the father of the baby gets to hold the baby before you even get to hold the baby. Like, they'll bring the baby over to you and, like, let you see the baby, but you can't actually hold the baby until after you're out of surgery. That is, like, one thing that I did not like, because I was like, man, it's my baby. I've grew it for 9 months, and I don't even get to hold it first, but whatever. It's going home with me, so, you know. But, the C-section process, I feel like, is a lot better than natural birth. Because with natural birth, you're sitting there contracting, waiting hours and hours and hours, and then if you don't go into labor fully, or, you know, progress after your waters broke, then you're looking at a C-section maybe. So I personally, if I don't plan on having any more kids, but if something happens and we do, then it will be another C-section for me. But like I said, we're not planning to have any more kids. I don't want to go through a C-section again, just because of the healing process, y'all. You're not allowed to take a bath for 6 weeks. You're not allowed to go swimming. You're not allowed to get in a hot tub. You're not allowed to do anything like that, because your C-section can't, like, the scar, the incision cannot be submerged in water, because it can cause it to get infected. You're not allowed to lift certain things. So, like, I couldn't even lift Xavier or Cadence whenever I first came home from the hospital, because they don't want you to tear yourself open or rip yourself or anything like that. Like, I can't rupture. Yeah, they don't want you to rupture yourself on the inside, because if you do mess up something and you do rupture, the only way for them to fully fix it is to go back in there and do the whole C-section over again. Like, to lay you back down, cut you back open, sew you back up, you know what I mean, like that type of thing. And I don't want to have to, that scared me, because I was like, the only reason that I got the C-section to begin with is because there was a baby in there. I'm not about to just be cool with, you know, getting another C-section with no baby coming out. Like, that's not what I want to do. But, I mean, if worse came to worse and that's what I had to do, and it was like a life-threatening situation, then, you know, I would do what I had to do. But I would not be very happy about it. I would be scared, because after you get home and, you know, you're trying to do your daily stuff, it's very hard, because you are very sore. I remember I wanted to sleep on my belly so bad whenever I came home with Xavier's pregnancy, like with his C-section. I come home and I laid down on my belly and I did not move. Like, did not move at all. Because in my sleep I did not move. And I guess it was just because of the pain, like, that you're in, which they give you medicine and stuff for it. But I personally didn't want to, you know, be all jacked up on pain medicine, because, you know, I'm breastfeeding, and I also just wanted to be, like, completely aware, I guess, of what I was doing. And I kind of just was like, I don't need those painkillers, and was just kind of in a lot of pain. So if you're cool with taking the painkillers, you may not even be in as much pain as I was in, but the healing process is the worst part. So if you are thinking about having a C-section, or you are looking at a C-section, then don't be scared, because it's nothing to be scared about. I mean, it is a surgery, so I mean, you probably will be scared whenever you walk in the surgery room, the OR. But just try not to be scared. Like, it's not as bad as what you think. Like, it's really not. A lot of people think that it's like this big scary thing, and it's not. It's not that bad. It's just the healing process. But that's all that I have for you guys today, talking about C-sections. If you guys want any more videos, just sit down like videos like this, then please leave it. So that is it for this video. I really thank you guys so much for clicking on this, for watching, for sitting down and listening to me ramble on and talk about C-sections and my experiences. If you guys want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, then leave me a comment down below, and I will try to do any videos that you guys want to see. And yeah, if you want to, you know, see more mommy related stuff, cleaning videos, organizing videos, makeup tutorials, anything like that, any mommy related, house related, like wife related stuff, postpartum related stuff, then I will do that for you guys. But I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I'm so awkward today. But yeah, if you guys like it, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.